Let's talk play-in tournament. Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Basketball. Today's video is going to be all about the play-in tournament, what the play-in tournament is, why it was created, whether it succeeded in that goal, and then overall thoughts and opinions on the play-in tournament from the perspective of someone who has been watching seriously since after it was made and implemented. The play-in tournament was initially implemented in the 2019-2020 bubble season to kind of spark interest and garner more attention. Although in its initial implementation, it was different than what we have today. Initially, it was if the 8 and 9 seed at the end of the season were within 4 games of each other, they would play, and if the 8th seed won, they became the 8th seed. But if the 9th seed won, they'd play one more game, and whoever won that game became the 8th seed. Today, the play-in tournament is a little bit different, as in we have 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds from each conference, and we have the 7 and 8 seeds play each other, and the 9 and 10 seeds play each other. The winner of the 7 and 8 seed matchup becomes the 7th seed in the playoffs, and the loser faces the winner of the 9 and 10 seed matchup, fighting for the 8th seed. The current implementation of the play-in tournament was created to dissuade tanking teams because it allowed more slots and playoff opportunity. But although it is pretty good at doing that, I would say its greatest strength lies in the excitement it creates right before the playoffs, where it really feels like these are do or die, win or go home games. And because of the play-in tournament, we had teams in the West especially. We had the teams like the Mavericks, the Pelicans, the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Warriors all playing must-win games for seeding towards the end of the season, where normally you probably wouldn't have that because most seeds would probably be in a locked-up state. Alright, so this part of the video is going to be a little bit more like my typical content I'm planning on making, which means I'm kind of just going to be spitballing about the play-in games, how they went, who I thought kind of really shined, who I thought really struggled, and yet still managed to make it past. And to start off, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the Timberwolves. I thought, although the first game was a little rough from both the Lakers and the Timberwolves with just an absurd amount of turnovers and just poor scoring by both teams, I will say that they really bounced back from the Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson issue with a punch, and although Jaden McDaniels was out for both of those games, I will say that they did play well defensively, even though they were missing one of their best defensive assets. And then, coming from the other angle, I will say that the Heat were a little disappointing. I would say that the first game, although Jimmy Butler is a playoff master, just absolutely increases his stats, his percentages, by so much just by entering the playoffs. His first game looked really rough. They offensively just could not find it. Although I am upset that the Timberwolves ended up beating the OKC Thunder, one of my favorite teams. I will say that out of the two teams that were fighting for that 8th seed, they are the strongest suited to go against the Jokic-led Nuggets. The Thunder, with no real dedicated center, no big man of that size, just had almost no chance. I don't want to say any chance, but they had almost no chance taking that series from them. While on the other hand, the Timberwolves have both Cat and Rudy to be able to kind of fill that paint, try and give him some issues, maybe clog it up enough to stop him from making crazy passes. But I don't know, I still don't see them taking many games, if any, off of the Nuggets. They feel kind of automatic, especially at home. After editing all this, I realized that it's kind of a jumbled mess, but rather than kind of redo the whole thing, I figured it's still pretty good practice to just kind of put this out there, see what happens. If you made it this far, thank you for watching if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.